And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
2015 is the year of the pirate, and so let's take a look at another pirate game, although this one actually came out in 2013, Port Royale. This is a game that someone said, hey, this is a really cool game, you should check it out. They gave it to me, I checked it out, and we'll find out if it's cool or not. But I was intrigued because it's pirates, and it's a push your luck style game, which is something that I am always interested in. So this game goes up to 5 players. It says 20 to 50 minutes on it. Let's see if any of that stuff is correct. In this game, cards are cards and they're money. So when you have cards in front of you face down in the pile, everyone's going to get 3 to start with. They count as money. So everyone starts with 3 coins. When it's a player's turn, they are going to flip over the top card of the deck. And this card is either going to be one of 3 different cards. Actually many different cards, but one of 3 different types. So some types are people who live, citizens on the wharf here. So you can then stop or you can keep drawing. Other cards are ships. This is a green ship here. So at any time you can stop or keep going. So of course I'm playing, so I'm just going to keep going and keep drawing more and more cards. Now as you draw these cards, different great cards are going to come up, but you have to be careful because if you ever draw 2 ships of the same color, then your whole turn's over and you've lost everything. So here, a green ship, boom, I'm out. However, let's say I decided to stop before then. Then I get to take cards. Now the number of cards you take are the number of different color ships that are out. If there are 3 or less ships, I get 1 card. If I have 4 ships, I get 2 cards. And if I have 5 ships, I get 3, which is very difficult. Now, when I take a card, if I take a ship, I'm just going to get the money on the ship. So this would give me 3 coins. That would give me 1 coin. If I take a citizen, here, I have to pay the amount at the bottom, so this is worth 4. This would cost me 4 coins. I put it in front of me, it's worth that many victory points, and this one also is worth that symbol. Some of them give special abilities, like for example, this guy here, if I take him, I get an extra coin every time I take a green ship. These guys here, they give me different symbols. At the beginning of the game, in a 5-player game, this is in the middle of the table, and if I ever have these 3 symbols, I can turn them in to take this card, which gives me 3 coins and 5 points. Now, after I take, let's say it was my turn, so I say, I'm going to take this one here. That gives me 3 more coins. So I take those off top of the deck, 3 more coins, and the ship is discarded. Then each other player in turn order can take a card from the middle. They do the same thing. They can take the money or they can buy it. If they do so, they must pay me 1 coin. So each player will do that, or they can pass if they want to. Once everyone's done passing, any cards left over are discarded, and then it's the next player's turn. So let's say they turn over cards. This player is going to push his luck also. Now you'll notice here that some of these cards have sword icons on them. Those are good because when you take those, let's say I have this one in front of me. It's worth 2 points, but it has 2 swords. When a ship shows up that has 2 or less swords on it, instead of leaving it there, I can immediately discard it. Now that will make it so that, maybe I can draw more cards that way. I'm looking for maybe a specific card. I just got rid of that black ship, and it's a good thing I did because another black ship came up. And this one here, doesn't matter how many swords you have, you can't get rid of it. And so I keep going. Look at all these cards that I'm drawing. This is fantastic. My options are going to be humongous as I draw all these cards. There's a red ship. There's a blue ship. I'm going to keep going here. Now, when this card is drawn, a tax increase, anybody who has 12 or more coins has to lose half of them. So you don't want to save up too many. And then whoever has the most swords here gets another coin. Sometimes it says whoever has the fewest points gets another coin too. Sometimes another one of these will show up and you just leave that on the middle of the table. And again, whenever someone gets these icons, they can turn that in. Many of these will give you special abilities. This one here, if there's ever 5 or more cards, when it's your turn to take a card, you get 2 coins. This one here gives you an extra coin every time you take a red ship. This one here, whenever you buy a citizen from the middle, they cost 1 less coin. This one here, when you take cards, you can always take an extra card, not just 1, but multiple cards. If the deck runs out, you reshuffle it and you keep going. As soon as somebody has 12 or more points in front of them, you have 1 final round and the game is over, and whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. One last thing here is that you'll notice on these ships, let's see if I can get a focus here, on the ships. The ships are worth 1 to 4 coins. And they also will have a certain number of swords if you want to get rid of them so that you don't get duplicates. Each ship shows you one, like there's a ship with a 1, a ship with a 3, and a ship with a 5. So they show you what types are in there. So if I see a 5 come up, I go, okay, well I can't handle that. But the other 2 ships are 3s and 1s. I have 3 swords. So if another green ship comes up, I should probably be able to get rid of it unless I draw another 5-sword ship. So there's that in the game too. Wow, do I love this game. Now, I am predisposed to like it because I like push your luck style games. But this game has a lot of interesting facets to it. My only dislike of this game is I really wish it went to 6 players, because this is like the kind of game I think 6 players would work well at. Even when it's not your turn, you're kind of paying attention to what's going on because you have a chance possibly when other people leave cards out there to take one. And so there's that aspect as you turn over ship after ship after ship, or card after card after card, the more cards you put out, the more opportunities you have. And if you get 4 different ship cards, you can draw 2 cards. Although that likely won't happen at the beginning of the game. It's too dangerous. Once you have swords, it's a little more possible. But the more cards you put out there, not only will you get to pick one, but other people will get them, and then they will pay you 1 coin each. And that can add up if you're playing a 5-player game, which is the best way to play this currently, 5-player. But each player taking a card, let's say 3 out of the 4 other players take a card, that's 3 coins you got. And if you took a ship that was 3 coins, you just got 6 coins in your turn. And then on someone else's turn, they may have put out a sailor or something that you want to take, and then you have the money to spend on it. I like that. It's interesting. Sure, the game has that luck that you could bust. You turn over 3 cards, you can turn over a green ship, another green ship, boom, you're out. And that can and will happen over the course of the game, but I think it balances out. Also, the game is light enough that I don't think it's a big deal. The different sailors, what should you go for? Should you go for the swords? You know, the swords are useful because you can clear out ships, you get more cards. Should you go for those different symbols to get those big point cards? That's a quick way to victory. Maybe you should do that. Or should you go for the ones that give you the special abilities? Adding more money when you take certain color ships, discounting sailors, taking extra cards in your turn. It offers enough choices where I think it's very fulfilling, but at the same time is light enough and simple and just entertaining as all get out. And you are constantly involved in every player's turn. So this is one that I highly recommend. I love it very much. It's a quick game of push your luck that I can easily pull out and play with lots of people. And that is Port Royale. Dice Tower Judgment into my collection.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!